Good evening, everyone. My name is Suzanne Steele, and I am joined this evening to share a first look at a better way to a life in balance with Anne Brienza, who is also from New Hampshire, and Nancy Lindblom, who is coming from Florida. We are about a group of people who are about uplifting the world, um, caring and sharing about the ideas of wellness and prosperity as well.
We learned about this better way from the development of a company called Nikken, and it's a Japanese Health and Research Institute that was founded by a gentleman whose photo you see named Isamu Masuda back in the 70s. And his goal was for world peace through world health. He established the company and it worked its way to North America, where now we have the world headquarters in North America. The company is debt-free and it has sales across the globe, billions of dollars worth, and many, many satisfied and healthful customers. The philosophy that Mr. Masuda shared with us was to have balance in all areas of your life. You see this picture that breaks it down into 5 areas: mind, family, society, finances, and body. And in the center is your own personal spiritual beliefs. The idea was to seek balance in all areas, and therefore you would be at peace and being in a healthful area in all of your life. So as we go through the slides tonight, see if any one of these 5 areas jumps out at you.
Now, most people are focused on their finances, and it's usually at the expense of those other 4 pillars. It is the number one source of stress, and that's because of the quadrant that we may be living in. This is called the cash flow quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. And on the left-hand side, most people are either employees or they're self-employed. They either have a job or they own a job. And if you're an employee, you might feel like this young woman who's stuck in a box. She may not be able to take the time off or do the things she wants to do. You could also be self-employed, like the picture of this doctor on the bottom. He is only earning income when he is at his job. A better way is being on the right side of the quadrant, either being a business owner and having a system and people work for you, such as Starbucks in this case, or having excessive money or extra money and having that work for you, like Warren Buffett does. Now, fortunately, that better way, there is a different thing called the gig economy that's emerging. And this is allowing people to have temporary engagements like the music industry. Musicians would play gigs or do play gigs on the weekend or in the nighttime, and it was doing something that they love to do. It's their passion. Well, this gig economy is rolled into other ways of doing business because of the technology that we have at our fingertips, like cell phones and computers. We can do our business anywhere we go. It's very portable. This allows us to allow better work-life balance that Anne was speaking of. And more and more millennials are joining the workforce, and they're looking for this balance. They've seen, though, changes in the workforce. Many people being outsourced. It could be their parents or grandparents. This happened to me 2 years ago, and fortunately for me, I had started in the gig economy many years earlier so that I had an additional income stream.
And the health facts, as they are shown in pictures and listed here, are the body is burdened. Stress, it impacts everything in our lives. And it's listed here: heart disease, diabetes, fatigue, allergies, sleep, and weight. All are affected by stress. Sleep. One poor night's sleep can drop your immune system by 60%. And this young lady probably has had a couple nights of no sleep because she looks exhausted. So we've all been there, and we know what lack of sleep can do for our body. Weight, there are way too many adults and young children overweight, and too much money. It says here $20 billion annually. That needs to be turned around. Water. There's so many things in our tap water, in our bottled waters, that we don't even know what's in there. I lived in New Hampshire where I had wonderful well water. Now I'm in Florida where you don't even want to cook with it. So I don't know what's in it. So I'm thankful for our solutions that we'll talk about later. So I'm drinking and cooking and feeding my cat and showering in healthy water. And the health trends I touched upon earlier, that these children are obese. They're around cell phones. They're in the schoolrooms with lights all the time and computers, and they're not sleeping well. They're not eating well. There's a lot of cancer and cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. There are solutions, and the children need to be healthier than they are.
So what is the solution that Nancy just alluded to? Well, it's to take personal responsibility through self-care. Our health or sick care industry is burdened with many issues that people could have really solved or prevented themselves. Now, we as a group have opted to be healthy by choice and not wait around to see if by chance we'll be healthy. So we've chosen active wellness in a sense that we are participating and we are aware and making choices each day that lead to a more successful, healthful existence. And these choices, these little tiny behavioral choices that are made each day, have a big effect, a compound effect on our lives or the quality of our life. If we choose, for instance, in our health, to be mindful of the type of food and water we're taking each day, that's going to result in a healthier body. If we choose to work on our relationships in our family and allow people to not only share what their thoughts and feelings are, but to be compassionate with each other and to help each other each day in a positive way, that would be good. So each area of our 5 pillars are affected by small choices that we make each day. And one of them is also in our financial habits. I'd like to remain to be the lady with the hands up, looking at the sky with a smile, rather than the one who is crying and sad and miserable.
So what Nikken offers is what we call our certified wellness home. You see this picture of this beautiful greenhouse. Well, that is what a certified wellness home does. It creates this wonderful environment where you can thrive, and instead of just survive. And the components are listed at the bottom. We call it the good news for health. G stands for grounding, N, nutrition, E for energy, W, water, and S for sleep. And now we'll go into a little deeper detail on each of these.
In the N in good news is nutrition. On the left-hand side of the screen is a sampling of the Nikken, or most of them are organic, food-based. We have the Kensing Vital Balance, which I love, chocolate and vanilla, and sometimes mix for my breakfast and lunch on the go. And I'm always busy, so I don't have time to eat. We have Bone Health. Siaga juice is a wonderful combination of all kinds of fruits. And we have, in addition to the nutritions that are there, we have skin and hair care products that are also organic.
The E in good news is for energy of the earth and the energy of the sun that Nikken has incorporated into user-friendly technologies that we can put in our shoes, put on our on our wrists as bracelets. You'll see things that look like the insoles of a shoe. Those have energy of the earth and the sun in them that give us a great understanding. Our grounding mat pad, which is one of our newest technologies, is an amazing product. So Nikan has given us energizing things that are daytime and also nighttime.
And then we have water. The large system in the middle is an 18-inch high gravity-fed filtration system where we put our tap water in there and we get what we call PyMag water. It's living, energized, magnetic energized water. And we have a shower system on the right where we can shower in it so you're not showering with chemicals or other minerals that aren't good for you. And the water bottle. The water bottle has a filtration system in it. It creates the same type of water, and I had it on the golf course today, just kept putting ice in it, and it hydrated me for a very long round of golf. So this is very, very good for our bodies.
And last in this slide, but probably one of the most important, as Nancy touched on in a prior slide, is sleep. If you don't get a good night's sleep, it affects you. I know it really does. For me, this was what caught my attention over 22 years ago. I had had a near fatal car accident, had a halo, and suffered for 3 years, sleep being one of my issues. And it wasn't until I was introduced to our sleep system that first night I started sleeping on it, I was able to, in a week, get out of bed in one motion. And that was just amazing to me that good night's sleep could affect me in that way. So each week we try to touch on new things. And since even in New Hampshire now, we're experiencing some spring, we have some tools for spring that we're going to discuss tonight. Here on the left are some of the spring chores that some of us are involved in, whether it's raking and getting those leaves and branches away from the flowers that are coming up. Maybe it's adding some bark mulch to your flower beds. It could be planting your vegetable garden or picking up all those limbs that fell down during the winter. I have piles all over my backyard. And there are solutions on the right-hand side. When I go out to garden, I put on various products so that I do not hurt after the fact. I have a necklace on. I have 2 bracelets on. I always wear that product at the upper right-hand corner that's white with little dots. That's called a Mag Flex, and that keeps my back flexible. I am going to turn it over to Anne and then Nancy, and you can round out some of those other things that you use when you're out doing things outside.
Well, thank you, Suzanne. And I like the word chores, but I'm actually going to change it to spring outdoor fun because the downhill skiing is over and I'm ready to go out and partake of other things before I jump behind the boat. And I did this past week go for nice walks outside, and we're getting on the bicycles, and sometimes we have a tendency to overdo things. And so these tools come in very handy, especially the duct tape, if we tend to overdo on our outside activities because we're so excited about being outside. All of these technologies help. And then at night, that grounding pad is amazing because being outside and you don't realize how you're using up a lot of your energy, and the grounding pad was wonderful this week. I used it because I was so active on my feet. I was so happy to be back outside in New Hampshire. So certainly not only for chores, but also for outdoor spring fun, these are great helpers and solutions to overdoing it.
Well, I don't have a yard to take care of because it's in an association, but I did plant flowers today, and they were heavy and in big pots. And I did have the Mag Flex on. I had it while I was golfing because I don't have a back issue, but it does, like Suzanne said, it relaxes my back. And putting the CM cream, and of course I had the water bottle with me today. And when I got back from golf, my feet were a little sore today, and I put them right on that grounding pad, and I was good to go. So yes, sometimes we forget to put them on, even though we love them, and then we're reminded if we feel a little sore. But I was able to work in my backyard with the pots and enjoy my golf game because of these products.
Ladies, and you know, the reason why I have a question mark after chores is because I don't think of them as chores. I look at them as fun and exercise. But, you know, Ann and I are related, so that's why we probably think that way. I too I did a little too much during Easter, and thank goodness for that grounding pad and the CM cream. Both of those came in extra handy, and the beauty of the grounding pad itself is that it can move with you. So one night it was up near my shoulders, the next night down towards my back and in my legs. So it's very portable as your body uses different parts a little extra. Now, one thing I know I don't have on the slide is our insoles. And those I know that all three of us use when we're outdoors as well.
So not only do we like to use all these technologies ourselves, but we find it exciting to share them with others, because every time we share them, someone feels better. So we're showing you tonight an example of how it's shared. The idea is to join, either make a commitment as a customer to take advantage of some of the incentives and technologies, or you might be interested in possibly sharing them and promoting them yourself. And how you do that is you just tell other people about how it's helped you and others you know, and ask them what they're looking for that might help with their issues and might solve some of their problems. Or possibly they're looking for a way to get that into that gig economy benefit that Suzanne was talking about. Nikken does everything else. They ship the product, they keep the inventory, they do all the research and development. We do not warehouse and stock our garages. Everything is drop shipped, and it's an online ordering process. And as a result of our sharing, not only does someone feel better, but we have a little bit something to add to our pockets as well, through commissions and special offers, incentives, bonuses, and also recognition. So we, at the end of each week, we get a commission on all retail sales, and at the end of each month, we get commissions or rewards from Nikken for people from our team.
And one thing added about recognition, you know, I was in the corporate world for 29 years, and the idea of recognition was not something that occurred on a regular basis. And that is something that really spoke to me when I was looking at this as a way to integrate something into my life, to be recognized for doing a good job and planting those seeds of hope for others.
And what do Nikken entrepreneurs do? Well, all of us on the call here, a lot of us are wellness consultants, and we help others to choose an active wellness. And as Suzanne touched upon earlier, we all have a passion. It's a strong passion. We want to share this. We feel very healthy and blessed that we have been introduced to these products and has helped our health, and we want to share that. And we compound and leverage with each other. If I have questions, I reach out to Ann or Suzanne, or there's medical people that I can ask questions. I don't know the answers. If I don't know the answer to something, I am going to find out. And there's a wonderful support system. And it's like a great big family that just wants to get to that goal of the healthy world through healthy health. Did I say that right? Healthy peace through healthy health. I'm not saying that right. But anyway, you get the point.
We get the point. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
So our potential, you know, this picture here is apples. Each apple has so many seeds in it. Now, if we plant the seeds, we may know that there's 6 or 8 seeds in an apple, but we don't know how many apples can come from those planted seeds. So it is about planting the seeds and helping them grow. And with that potential growth and that caring and sharing that we do with the Nikken solutions, whether it be products or business, as Anne was talking about, we are transforming lives. And we are creating an orchard of change. All of these apples represent people's lives that have been touched one way or another through the Nikken solutions. So just think, how many lives would you like to change? So tonight, we hope that the 5 pillars that Anne introduced to you at the beginning, if one of those pillars jumped out at you, or 2, did you see something tonight that might cause your life to get back into better balance? If so, we'd like to help you begin your new success story. Be part of this active wellness movement. You might not need or want anything yourself, but you may have thought of someone whose life can be benefited. So therefore, you could connect us to others. You might want to be a customer at this point, or you might already be a customer and you might want to join our team and impact other people's lives. Whichever you choose is the right one for you, and we want to encourage you to get back to the person that asked you to join us or listen to this and get all your questions answered. And we hope to see you later on the Nikken Highway.